Hey everybody, Michael here, and there is a ton of new PlayStation Homebrew updates, so let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. So we're going to begin with Remote LUA Loader, which I've talked about many times here on the channel. There was recently an update where they added in these two games down here at the bottom. Now, while I've covered this previously, I did want to let you know that I did notice that there has been quite a bit more updates to this since they added support for Nora Princess and Stray Cat Heart. And what we can see up in here is there was a bit of cleanup, some fixes here to the exploit, and then they merged a couple of different pull requests. We can see that there was another update where they have been updating the FTP server. Now, what makes this a bit interesting here is that with this project, we're starting to see a number of other folks take this project and build upon it. And one thing that this project does not have included in it is things like etaHEN and so forth. So over here, there is a new project by itsPLK. And what they did was they forked the Remote LUA Loader. And then down in here, they state that they automatically load the UMTX jailbreak, the ELF loader, and your ELF payloads. Now, it supports PS5 up to version 7.61, which is where the very latest jailbreak is. Now, again, there is some instructions in here on how to use it, as well as which games are included. It's basically the same exact thing as the original project right over here. And there was a video of this. Okay, so if we take a look at the video, then we can see right up here at the top, this is that APPkg 2 game that I bought that they are also testing with. So we can see that they load it up. And then by default, right there, it says starting the UMTX exploit. And you probably have seen a few videos of mine where I've been running this. Obviously, you don't get the ELF loader and you don't get any of these other things. But once this is complete, you are pretty much ready to go. So you can see right there, PS5 case stuff is now available. And then finally, it does have etaHEN, which is loaded too. Now, there was another update over here from EchoStretch, which is called kstuff-toggle, which I've also talked about on the channel here. But what I noticed was that there was a couple of pull requests that were pulled in, and this one was from John Tornblom. And what they had there was to add the Homebrew.js and some cosmetics. And if we just look right over here, the main reason he made this pull request was he wanted to add the Homebrew.js to simplify deployment via the web server payload. And if you aren't familiar, what this does is that this toggles kstuff on and off. Obviously, if you have kstuff turned off, then you will get a bit of a performance increase. Now, you can do this already inside of etaHEN, and you can toggle it on and off there. But this right here would make it obviously a lot more compatible with some of the work that John Tornblom is doing. Next up, there was a significant update over here on the Apollo save tool for the PlayStation 4. And if we just scroll down into this, just to make sure that you're aware, is that this is a Homebrew app that allows you to download, unlock, patch, and re-sign save game files directly on your PlayStation 4. Now, what was very interesting in this release was that they added in the ability to use an FTP server, which is absolutely amazing because we could now have save cloud backup. So if we had multiple PlayStation 4s that were jailbroken in our home, what we could do is we could go ahead and back up that save game to our FTP server and then pull it back down on another PlayStation 4 that is jailbroken. So basically, this is like having a paid for PlayStation Essentials where you can get save game support that is by the cloud. Now, not only was the FTP server support added, but there was also bulk management support for encrypted saves, an improved copy save to HDD option, and then a few different things in here, as well as a few new cheat codes, and then some custom checksum support for these games down here. A few fixes here, as well as some miscellaneous updates as well. Now, you can obviously just come down here and click on the PKG and download that and go ahead and get started with it. Now, going back to the FTP server, there is some instructions on how to get this up and running using a couple of different methods. Now, the one that I have been playing with has been the FileZilla FTP server, and it lists some instructions in here that you can go down through and that you can apply. Now, I did want to state that I have tried this over on my own PlayStation 4, and right now I still haven't been able to get to the FTP server. It definitely shows that I'm logging in with FileZilla, and it obviously works with other clients, but it is not working with this one. So I have reached out to the author to see if they can kind of help me get past this. Other than that, I may come back down here and maybe try one of the native Windows FTP servers, or maybe one of the online hosts, as well as I have a Linux box that I could play with as well. But if you are going to attempt to get the FTP stuff set up, you definitely want to check out this link, which all of the links will be in the description below. Next up, what we had was a fairly significant update over here from Viktorious, and it was version 11 of my auto ISO is done, and they added a USB bin elf loader to read and execute jar files. Now, if you're wondering what this is basically a modified ISO that you can put into a PlayStation 5, and it will automatically jailbreak your console from beginning to the very end, doing things like loading etaHEN and so forth. So if we go over here to releases, we can see that the final version, at least as of this moment, was just released yesterday, and it is version 1.11. Now, there are some instructions in here. Basically, you just need to get a Blu-ray burner, as well as add a Blu-ray RE disc, and then download the ISO image right here, and then burn it with a program such as ImageBurn, and then you will be up and going with this. Now, it does state in the project over here that this is a modified ISO for 4.x all the way up to 7.x. Now, previously in the last version, it only supported all the way up from 6 to 7.61. So this latest version is definitely the one you're going to want to get because it has support for 4.x all the way up again to 7.x. And they are testing this on a 7.61 system. So if you have one of those systems, this right now is the go-to ISO image that I would recommend using. And then we had an update over here from Zekoshell, and it was decrypting and unpacking PS Portal full updates. Now, I did take a look at this video over here, and I would definitely recommend that you check it out because he basically shows you how you can decrypt a pup file. And as you can see right over here, this is the 5.00 pup, and then you can just unpack it. Now, you obviously can't do anything with it as of today, but it's pretty interesting how we are able to do that at the current moment. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more on how pups or PlayStation Updater files work, then definitely check out this video right here. And then there is a new project that I have noticed, but I just haven't talked about yet. And what this is that this is a shop app package that you can run from your PlayStation 5 browser. Now, you can just point to this URL right here inside of your browser, or you can download this PKG right here, and it will just automatically go to this page once you launch it. Now, if we take a look at the video here, you can see that right here is the PS5 shop app package, and he just went ahead and installed it. So we'll go ahead and let this play. And from right here, what you can see is that you will need to activate etaHEN and then services and then the direct package installer v2, which is very simple to do on your PlayStation 5. And then you will have access to a number of these different applications that you can install. So things like the PS5 exploit that they've been working on, debug settings over here. I have a lot of people that ask me how I get to debug settings so quickly. It's because I use this package, and here is the web browser since PlayStation decided not to put a web browser on the console. This one goes over to your storage. And then there is a few more in here. So let me just go ahead and let the rest of this video play where you can kind of see how this all works together. So yeah, there's a couple more shortcuts to things like trophies, items flow, PS5 Explorer, and then even is all in one package for the plugin. So right there, he's went ahead and clicked on one of these, and as you can see, the direct package installer is taking over, and right there it is. So this is a super easy way to get all of the plugins installed on your machine. And here is another example of this. And there you can see it is working. And then back over here, there it goes. It is installing, and there is a number of different emulators that you can supply your own ROMs for. And then there was a brand new ESP PS5 exploit server that has been released. And what this is that this is for the ESP8266 devices. For those of you that just wants to run the exploit on your own device without having to use an internet or have any sort of online connections. And what it states here is that this is a lightweight web server for ESP8266 boards that hosts the PlayStation 5 UMTX2 jailbreak, or versions 1 through 5.50 with a few minor modifications for caching. Now, a couple of payloads are preloaded, so etaHEN 2.1b, as well as Biprovisor if you're on those early 1.x or 2.x, and then the LUA Loader. Now, this is just an access point that you would just simply go to, and you would look for this SSID and then provide it the password, and you would be able to get this up and running. What's kind of neat about this is that you can add your own files to it, and you can do quite a bit of customization. So it's a nice little all-in-one package here, and I will probably be doing a video on this one pretty soon. Next up, I did want to mention these Mp4 4.5 dumps that Zekoshell has been releasing here. And if you're wondering what these are, and I definitely saw down in the comments a couple of people asking, what can this be used for and so forth. Justice League over here had it right, and this is the Mp4 firmware, so this isn't the Mp4 video codec. Mp4 firmware, in which this is the security for installing Pkgs, and this is for version 4.50, which has been dumped. Just do keep in mind that this is just a dump, and there will need to be quite a bit of research done on it before we start to see anything come out of this. And then I saw another interesting project as I was just skimming through my feed today, and it was this thing called PS5 Tool Disk, and it's by somebody named DriveRick. And if we scroll down into this, what you can see is this is what appears to be another ISO image that you can use that is a USB bin ELF loader extended to read and execute *.jar files. So on his Twitter account, he stated the same thing right here. And you can get a pre-built ISO if you would like to, just right over here. I noticed that inside of the GitHub project, there wasn't anything in there. Okay, and so for the last thing here, I did want to call out EchoStretch. He is looking to get a special PS5, which is probably a test kit. He hasn't told me that or anything like that, but I believe it's a test kit where he can go to any of the PlayStation 5 system software versions. And if you can help out, then this is one of the people that I would highly recommend helping out, as well as Lightning Mods. Anyways, thank you so very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Michael